Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's VizTick here with my very first video. It's gonna be kind of like a story time. I just wanted to show you guys something that happened to me a couple years ago. It was a very traumatic experience for me, but I just wanted to come over here and share it to you guys. It was back in about 2018. Me and my brother, we're gonna name him George. Me and George, we were just going to the flea mall to live some memories. And we came across these railroad tracks. I'm not sure where you guys live, I don't know if you have railroad tracks, but we were on those crossings and I guess my brother was messing with his radio and he didn't notice that he was going off the railroad tracks. And next thing I know, I was playing on my phone. I look up, turn around, and look through the window. I see this lady coming about 70 miles an hour, and the speed limit was 55, so she was obviously speeding, but nothing happened to her. But the last thing I remember is the impact. After the impact, I just remember waking up in a ditch to this very, very muscular man on top of me, looking over me, making sure I wasn't dead. I wake up, I kind of like jump a little bit, and I've got all this adrenaline going on. I was very disoriented. There was all these people around me. I didn't know what was going on. Next thing I know, I look over my arm, and the bone is literally hanging out of my arm. So I try to get up, and the guy on top of me is telling me, no, don't get up, don't get up. They thought my neck might have been broken. They don't know what was broken yet. They just wanted to wait for the EMTs to get there. I was like, no, I'm fine. Can I get up? I didn't feel pain at this point because of all the adrenaline. Meanwhile, while everybody's focused on me, my brother is still in the vehicle. We don't know if he's dead, alive, what's happening. He was still passed out. But by the time the EMTs got out there, he got out of the truck and he came towards me. And he was freaking out because he just thought he killed his own brother. So he was freaking out. Everybody was talking to him, telling him to calm down. While I was just sitting there in a daze. Finally, the EMTs get there. They pick me up. They make sure nothing's like broken. Nothing's gonna inherit me from getting on the stretcher. So they do all that. They get me on the stretcher. And what upset me the most was I was wearing the nicest clothes that day. And they just take those little scissors and cut everything off. I mean, I get why they had to do that, because they wanted to make sure there was no other puncture wounds, there was no other of this. But I was just really upset about it because I had very nice clothes on. I was so lucky to have not died, because from what people told me was I flew like Superman about 10 feet in the air. Yeah, 10 feet. I probably would have broken so many more bones than just my arm if I was awake. But it would have been a very fun experience to be Superman for about 10 seconds until I hit the ground. But luckily, we got to the hospital and they rushed me to do x-rays and see if anything else was broken. Apparently, one of my ribs was broken. I had a punctured, collapsed lung, but everything else was okay. My neck wasn't broken, so they took the neck brace off. Everything was alright. Then they took me to get a CAT scan, and literally the way they made me position my arm, I was in the most searing pain ever. They wanted me to put it in positions that my arm refused to go. Like, I'm telling you, refused to go. But after all of that, they take me back to the waiting room. They keep me alive until an airlift could come, because the hospital that I had, they didn't have the proper equipment to do surgery and all that stuff, so they had to airlift me to a better hospital. That took about, I don't know, 2 hours. Meanwhile, this whole time, ever since like the wreck happened, I've had to pee. I had to pee so bad that it just would not come out. So finally, the helicopter gets here. This was my first time flying. It was the worst experience I have ever had in my life. It just makes me not want to fly anymore just because of that one experience. So after the helicopter ride, we get to the new hospital. They take me onto an observer table to see if there's anything wrong with me. They look more in depth. And dude, the pee that I had to take, I just kept saying, it's like, I have to pee, and they were like, go ahead and do it. So I was just in so much pain, I honestly didn't even care. I peed right there on the table. It was the most embarrassing thing of my life. But they've seen so much worse than that, so they didn't even say anything about it. I'm pretty sure they took me right to surgery, and I honestly barely remember any of it because it happened so fast, and I just didn't know what was going on. After that, I woke up in my room. They fixed my arm. It was in this like huge splint thing because the way it was broken in two places. places, so they couldn't put like a full cast on there, or it might have messed things up. Needless to say, I was there for about 2 weeks, give or take, and then they let me go home. They honestly should have never let me go home, because I was at home for about maybe a week, and then my arm got super infected. Had to go back, stayed there for about 5 hours. They looked at it, saw what was wrong, and next thing I know, I'm not leaving that hospital for 3 months. I had at least 15 more surgeries, and my arm was so jacked up because they had to take skin off, they had to do more incisions, clean the plate that they put in my arm. It was just a very horrible experience. But if I'm being honest, the nurses there were awesome. They were so gorgeous. It just made it so much more better. But all in all, the moral of this story is wear your seatbelt because it will save your life 9 times out of 10. But anyway, I've been VizTick. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time of mine. If you guys want to see more, make sure to like, comment, and smack that subscribe button. It'll show me that you guys want to see more of this kind of content. I really hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.